Okay, let's be real. You've been there, right? It's 3 a.m., you're sound asleep, and then, bam, four tiny paws are marching right across your face. It's kind of funny, maybe a little bit annoying, but what if I told you that little nighttime stroll isn't random at all? In fact, it's one of the most important messages your cat is ever going to send you.
Seriously, it happens to pretty much every cat owner on the planet. So what's the deal? Why do they do it? Why do they pick you as their personal midnight runway right when you're deepest asleep? Well, we're going to get into it and decode exactly what's going through their furry little heads.
So let's dive right in, because this is way more than just your cat trying to get comfy. We're talking about deep, primal instincts and some pretty smart learned behaviors. But you're going to want to stick around for the last reason we're going to cover. Honestly, it might completely change how you feel about those little nighttime visits forever.
All right, first things first, we have to completely reframe how we think about this. Your cat isn't just, aimlessly wandering around in the dark. This is a message. It's deliberate communication.
Yeah, every single step has a purpose, and every purr has a point. And by the end of this, you're going to be a regular cat whisperer. So, let's kick things off with the really deep stuff. The reasons that are baked into their DNA from millions of years ago.
Yeah, before your cat was curled up on your couch, its ancestors were wild hunters. And guess what? Those ancient survival programs are still running deep inside their brain, especially when all the lights go out.
So we're going to break this down into 3 core instincts. First, a kind of survival check. Second, a hunt for warmth. And third, something that's basically a territorial claim.
Okay, so reason number 1, they're checking to see if you're still alive. I know, sounds a little dramatic, but think about it. Why do they always seem to aim for your chest or your neck or right on your face? It's because that's where they can feel you breathing. See, in the dark, they can't see you like they do during the day. You're quiet, you're not moving, so they do a physical check-in. They're feeling for the rise and fall of your breath just to make sure, yep, my human's still here, all good.
Reason number 2 is a bit more straightforward. Your body is basically a personal space heater. I mean, it comes down to simple biology. Cats just run hotter than we do, so their bodies lose heat faster, especially at night when the temperature in the house drops. So what do? They seek out the warmest, coziest spot they can find. And hey, congratulations, that's you.
Yeah, check this out. A cat's normal body temperature is around 38 to 39 degrees Celsius. That's a degree or 2 warmer than ours. That's why they don't just plop down next to you. Oh no, they go on a mission. They'll walk all over you, using their paw pads like little heat-seeking sensors to find the absolute warmest spot, which is usually your chest or stomach. You are literally their living, breathing, electric blanket. All right, and reason number 3? They're marking you as their territory. You ever wonder why they have to walk on you instead of just next to you? Well, it's because their paw pads actually have scent glands. So with every single step, they're stamping you with their unique invisible signature. It's a chemical message to any other animal in the house that says, back off. This human, they're mine. They are basically renewing their ownership claim on you every single night. And get this instinct totally kicks into high gear if there's competition. Researchers at the University of Lincoln actually found that this whole territorial marking thing happens way more often in homes with more than one pet. So if you've got a dog or another cat, your cat feels this urgent need to walk all over you and remind everyone who's boss. You're a prize to be won. Okay, so we've got the survival check, the search for warmth, and marking their territory. But it's not all about them. It actually goes deeper than that. Your cat also sees itself as your protector, your personal night watch, and they're using senses that are, frankly, superhuman compared to ours.
I mean, just look at these numbers. We humans, we can hear up to about 20,000 hertz, which sounds like a lot, right? Well, a cat can hear up to 64,000 hertz. That is insane. It means your cat is living in a totally different soundscape than you are. They hear everything. The house settling, a mouse outside, the tiny click of the fridge turning on. It's a world of sound that is completely silent to us.
So when your cat hears one of those weird, tiny noises that you slept right through, their first instinct isn't to run and hide. Nope, it's to get to the highest, safest vantage point in the room to check out the potential danger. And in the middle of the night, guess what that is? It's you. So when you see them standing on your chest, ears twitching, staring at the doorway, that's not them being paranoid. That's surveillance. They're on duty.
Okay, but let's be honest. Not all the reasons are this deep and mysterious. Sometimes your cat's little midnight march has a very, very clear agenda. It's the 5 a.m. alarm clock.
And it all comes down to this one word: crepuscular.
It's a fancy way of saying cats are most active at twilight, so dawn and dusk. This means their internal energy clock is hitting its peak right around sunrise, which, of course, is precisely when you are in your deepest, most wonderful phase of sleep. Their wiring is the exact opposite of ours. So all that dawn energy has to go somewhere, and it usually gets channeled into a two-part plan. Part 1, food. Their internal clocks are scarily accurate, and they'll start their "hey, it's almost breakfast" campaign way ahead of schedule. Part 2, boredom. If you didn't play with them enough the day before, they've got all this pent-up energy, and they've decided you're the one who's going to fix it.
And here's the kicker. We're often part of the problem. It's a simple but powerful cycle. The cat wants something, right? Food or playtime, so it walks on your face. And what do? We get up and give it to them. We think we're solving the problem, but what we're actually doing is training them. We're rewarding the behavior. They learn super fast that paws on face equals results. And man, once that's locked in, it is a tough habit to break.
But now we get to the final reason, and honestly, this might be the most meaningful one of all. It's a reason that goes all the way back to the very first moments of their life.
You know when your cat is on you and starts doing that thing with their paws? That little rhythmic pushing, what people call making biscuits or kneading. If you've seen that, you're not just watching a cute little quirk. You're witnessing something incredibly special.
See, that kneading motion is one of the very first instincts a kitten has. When they're tiny and blind, they do this to their mother to get milk to flow. Think about that. That action is hardwired in their brain and connected to food, warmth, and absolute safety.
And that instinct? It never truly goes away. For the rest of their lives, that kneading behavior is locked into their minds as the ultimate sign of comfort, of trust, of feeling completely and totally secure. So here it is. This is the part that changes everything. When your grown-up cat climbs onto your chest in the quiet of the night and starts to knead, their brain isn't in the present. It's replaying that core memory. In that moment, your warmth, the sound of your heartbeat, the rise and fall of your breathing, to them, you feel like mom. You've become the source of that ultimate feeling of safety. You're not just their owner, you are their home.
So the next time you get that 3 a.m. wake-up call from a set of tiny paws, just take a second. Think about what's really going on. Are they just checking on you? Are they putting in an early breakfast order? Or are they giving you the biggest compliment a cat possibly can? What do you think your cat is really trying to say?